Hello everyone, and welcome to the lesson on solving a system of equations using the elimination method. Again, like the substitution method, this is something that you saw probably in geometry, saw it in algebra and algebra 2. So let's go through some of the fundamentals of this first. You have to decide which variables are going to be easier to work with, okay? So you want them to be opposite signs because we have to add the equations together. So if you can already find x's or y's that are opposite signs, that might be the easiest way to go. So you'll have to multiply one or both equations by something. I mean, you have to remember you have to multiply every term in the equation, okay? Then you add them together and eliminates one variable. Then you solve it. So then when you get a value for either x or y, you put it back into one of the original equations and you find out the other variable. Okay, so let's take a look at this first example. Okay, if you notice, the y terms are already opposite signs here. Okay, so I think instead of having to multiply something by a negative, I'm going to take the bottom equation and multiply it by 2, because then I'll have a 2y here and a negative 2y in the first equation. When they add them together, they're additive inverses and they'll come out to 0. They drop out. Okay, so the first equation, we're not changing that at all. Second equation, multiply everything by 2. 6x plus 2y equals 6. When you add the equations together, the y terms drop out. And you have 9x is equal to 3. You divide by 9. X is equal to 3 over 9, or 1/3. So this is the first part of your solution, 1/3. And we'll solve for the y. Okay. So let's go back to the first equation. 3 times 1/3 minus 2y equals -3. Well, 3 times 1/3 is 1. 1 minus 2y equals -3. So when you move the 1 over, you get -2y equals -4. Divide by -2, so y is equal to 2, and there's the rest of your solution. Okay, so that's the quick overview of how to solve a system of equations using the elimination method. So again, you've got to figure out which of the two variables, x or y, is going to be easier to work with, and you want them to be additive inverses, so a positive and a negative. So this way, when you are dividing them out, when you add the equations, they drop out like that did. -2y and a positive 2y. Okay, so then you'll only have an equation with one variable. You solve that and you put the value into one of the original equations, and you solve that to get your other variable. So this is the lesson for a system of equations by the elimination method, and this lesson was brought directly to you from my dining room table.